Hello friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joycey Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about the relaxation of SEBI's FPI norms. SEBI has recently relaxed the norms or the conditions for the foreign portfolio investors. So we will be looking at what are the changes made by SEBI and what is the significance of such changes and what are the issues that are yet to be addressed and what should be done for improving the investment environment in India. This is a very important topic from your UPSC perspective, especially from your mains examination point of view. So in your mains examination, foreign investment, FPI as well as FDI is a very important topic and questions are expected from this area. So from your mains examination and also from your essay in your mains examination, this is a very important topic. So we will be trying to cover all these angles from your examination perspective. Also, if you are preparing for any competitive examination, this is very important. This is because of the ongoing issues in the investment environment in India, the decisions taken in the union budget regarding investment, especially the FPI investment, which we have already discussed, and also the consequences of the statement made by Finance Minister in her budget speech. And now the SEBI has come up with new norms, or SEBI has relaxed certain existing norms in order to attract more foreign investment in India through FPI or foreign portfolio investment. So it is very important. So let us start. Let us first start with the current affair. Now SEBI is Securities and Exchange Board of India, and SEBI is responsible for market regulation or the stock market regulation in India. Now it is within the ambit of the responsibility of SEBI to regulate the foreign portfolio investments, the inflow and the outflow of foreign portfolio investments into the country and from the country. Now, the regulatory and compliance framework for the FPI, that is foreign portfolio investment, has been recently relaxed by SEBI. It has adopted more liberal norms and conditions for foreign investors through the foreign portfolio investment. So let us understand how liberal SEBI has made these norms and conditions and what are the changes made. Also, another important thing from your examination perspective is that the FPI regulations are redrafted by the SEBI based on the committee recommendations, that is HR Khan committee. So this committee was headed by HR Khan, that is why this is popularly known as HR Khan committee. HR Khan was the former deputy governor of RBI, the Reserve Bank of India. So based on this committee recommendations, these decisions are taken by SEBI. Now if you are preparing for any other examination other than UPSC, as example your banking exams or SEBI, RBI grade B, such type of examinations give so much priority to facts. General awareness session will ask questions based on factual knowledge, especially committees, reports. These are all very important. Now HR Khan committee, the name itself is very significant from the perspective of all these examinations. So remember the name HR Khan committee, and HR Khan committee has given recommendations to SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, regarding the norms and conditions for liberalizing or reviving the FPI or foreign portfolio investment. Now if you see these two terms and the question is regarding which committee is that, then the answer is HR Khan committee, which is very important for all these banking examinations. Now this is the current affair. So based on the HR Khan committee report, SEBI has relaxed the regulatory framework for foreign portfolio investors in the country. So let us come to what is an FPI or who is a foreign portfolio investor. Now foreign portfolio investment consists of securities and other financial assets held by the investors of other country. So that is why the name foreign is given. So the investor is not from India. The investor would be from other countries. That is, the investor would be a foreign personnel. So this will include securities and financial assets that are held by investors outside the country or foreign investors. Now, how is FPI different? The FPI does not provide the investor with direct ownership of a company's assets, and also the investment that is made by the investor is relatively liquid. So these are the two important facts, very important facts. from your UPSC preliminary examination point of view and also from all other examinations, competitive examinations point of view. These two facts about FPIs are very important, and sometimes the students doesn't really know what is the difference between FPI and the FDI investor. Very, very important. So first one is that a FPI investor, that is portfolio investor, does not have any direct ownership of the assets of the company for which the investment has been made. Now, second thing is that it is relatively liquid. It means that the investor can withdraw the investment or the money that is invested anytime. The liquidity is very high. Now, the liquidity will only depend upon the volatility of the market. So, depending on the volatility of the market, the investor can sell or purchase the shares or the assets or the securities of the company. Now, that is why it is called highly volatile. The FPI or the foreign portfolio investment is highly volatile in nature. So, this is regarding the FPI. Now, other ways of investing is FDI, that is foreign direct investment. So along with foreign direct investment or FDI, FPI or foreign portfolio investment is also one of the common ways to invest in overseas economy. So these are the two popular methods by which a foreign investor can make investments in a country, especially among the developing economies like India, that is the emerging market economies. FPI is a very popular method of receiving foreign capital or foreign investment into the economy. Now, another thing is that the foreign portfolio investment, it is influenced by global liquidity drivers. Now, what is meant by global liquidity drivers? Now, there are certain conditions or certain factors, we can say, that will impact the decision of the investor to make an investment. The first one is risk. Second one is returns. Now, the risk and returns can be both internal and external. Now, within India, there will be certain risk, market risk. Now, again, the returns. This refers to the rate of interest or the return an investor will get for his investment. Now, returns and risk are the two factors that will influence the decision of an investor. Now, there are both internal risk and internal returns, and also external risk and external returns. Now, internal risk and external risk are different. Let us take an example. Suppose a foreign investor wants to make investment in India. So, in India, there can be market risk. This is called internal risk. There can also be a certain percentage of interest, that is the return that the country would provide or the economic conditions would provide. So, these are internal and internal risk and internal returns. Now, the same person, suppose the investor who wants to make an investment in India is from Germany. So he is from another country. Now he will consider not only India, he will also consider other avenues. For example, he will consider investing in different countries in the world. For example, if he is also considering US, so he will consider the risk and also the returns in US economy. So these are certain external risk. So based on external and internal risk, an investor will make a decision. Now, how will external risk influence investment in India? This is because if there is any change in interest rates or any change in the risk factors in any other countries or in any other economies in this world, so what will happen? The investments can outflow from the country and also the inflow can increase. So these are called external risk. Without any of the factors that are within the economy, other external factors can also influence the rate of investment in the country. So, FPIs are influenced by global liquidity drivers or other conditions outside the country. Now, any change in the interest rate in the US economy can have impact on the FPI investments in India. It has already happened many times in case of India. When US Federal Reserve increased the interest rates, many portfolio investors had withdrawn their investments from India and they took it back to US. So, these are the risks that are associated with FPI. Now, let us understand the most important topic in this lecture, that is regarding the changes proposed by SEBI with regard to FPI investment. So first one, is simplification of registration process. So before that, what you need to understand is that the changes that the SEBI has announced has come as a part of its efforts to simplify and expedite the registration process. That means this will create a favorable condition for the portfolio investors from different parts of the world to make investments in the country. So this is intended at increasing the inflow of foreign investment from portfolio investors. So first one is regarding simplification of the registration process. So in this regard, SEBI has simplified the documentation requirements for the KYC, that is know your customer. So for the foreign portfolio investors, the KYC norms are simplified so that they will have easy filing of their documents in the country. Now, second one is regarding off-market transfer of securities. So, SEBI has also permitted the portfolio investors from the foreign countries to carry out off-market transfer of their securities. Thirdly, the eligibility criteria for the institutional investors has also been simplified. It means that now there are lesser challenges or lesser steps that has to be followed by portfolio investors to make investment in the country. Now also under the new framework, the portfolio investors, the FPIs, will be classified into 2 instead of 3. Now next one is that the mutual funds. Mutual fund is a pool of funds from different small investors. So mutual funds with offshore funds, that is from outside the country, they can also invest in India after registration in the country as a portfolio investor. So they will be getting certain tax benefits also, and mutual funds that are from outside the country can also invest in the country. Now regarding central banks of different countries. So for every economy there is a central bank which is the apex monetary institution in that economy. So now the central banks that are not members of the BIS, that is Bank for International Settlements, which is based in Basel, Switzerland. So those central banks which are not members of BIS or the Bank for International Settlements are also now allowed to register as foreign portfolio investors and invest in the country under new norms. So this is also added, and this aims at attracting more overseas funds into the market. Now, next change is that the SEBI has allowed those entities that are registered at an IFSC, that is International Financial Services Center. So, those entities that are registered at the IFSC will be automatically classified as a FPI. So this will help the foreign investors to bypass certain restrictions and they will face it easy to make investments in the country. So this is for the ease of doing investments in the country. Now next one is regarding MIM or Multiple Investment Manager. The registration for the multiple investment manager structures have also been simplified. So these are the changes that are made by SEBI in this regard. Now, from your UPSC perspective, what you need to understand is that SEBI has liberalized or simplified procedures for making investments in the country, which will allow more overseas investment into the country. So, from your UPSC perspective, you need not specifically study each and every change made by SEBI, which cannot be a potential question for UPSC. But your UPSC examination, the mains examination, will demand a general understanding of this. What changes SEBI has made? Does it adopt a liberal policy or a stringent policy? So this is what is required for your UPSC. But if you are talking about other banking exams, you need to be very specific because the questions are framed in such a manner. Now let us come to the rationale of SEBI in this regard. So as I said in the beginning, SEBI's motive or rationale is to motivate the flow of funds into the India's capital market. This is because there was an outflow of funds from India's capital market from the FPIs, foreign portfolio investment, to other countries. So a capital in excess of around 20,000 crore rupees has left Indian capital market recently. This was because in the Union Budget of 2019, the minister had made a statement on increase in the taxes on FPIs. So the finance minister announced that there will be an increase in the taxes which will be charged on foreign portfolio investments, and for that reason there was an outflow of around 20,000 crore rupees investment from the country. So because of this outflow, the policy makers were under huge pressure from different stakeholders to liberalize the norms which will ease an investment environment in the country. Now, the SEBI's decisions or the changes made by SEBI is in line with this. Now, the changes made by SEBI will attract more foreign investment, or the rationale itself is to attract more foreign investment into the country. You can find the PDF of this lecture on our website www.studyiq.com. You can also follow my Facebook page for more video updates. You can write to me at joycey.studyiq@gmail.com for any of your queries and clarifications. Thank you.